Hello and welcome to another Canadian channel feature. In this video, we will look at one of the contingency models of leadership. This video is a part of series MBA 101 course, Leadership. Please feel free to watch other sections on this segment. This is by far the most interesting concept I've come across. Reason being, it took me a very long time to decipher the information because every article I read talks about how good or bad the model is, but does not give an explanation on how to use it. I tried various books, videos, research articles, YouTube videos, and found that everyone is reiterating the same information. I then reached out to one of my online facilitators at my business school, Dr. Aaron, who broke it down without using any academic nuances. He also provided examples which reinforced their learning. Finally, I had my eureka moment. Let's dive in to see how this model works. If you remember the last couple of videos, we discussed about situational leadership and path goal theory, which dealt with how to be an effective leader based on changing situation. In this video, we will explore the Fiedler's contingency model and see how it can highlight the most effective leadership style to use in different situations. The Fiedler's contingency model was created in mid-1960s by Fred Fiedler, a scientist who studied the personality and characteristics of leaders. The model states that there is no best style of leadership. Instead, a leader's effectiveness is based on the situation. This is the result of two factors: leadership style and situational favorableness. Identifying leadership style is the first step in using this model. Fiedler believed that the leadership style is fixed, and it can be measured using a scale he developed called Least Preferred Coworker Scale, otherwise known as LPC scale. You use the scale to generate a cumulative score based on your perception of your coworkers' characteristics, traits, and attitudes. Next, you determine the situational favorableness of your particular situation. This depends on three distinct factors. Number 1, leader-member relationship. This is the level of trust and confidence that your team has put in you. A leader who is more trusted and has more influence with the group is in more favorable situation than a leader who is not trusted. Number 2, task structure. This refers to the type of task you're doing. Clear and structured, or vague or unstructured. Unstructured tasks or tasks where the team and the leader have little knowledge how to achieve them are viewed unfavorably. Number 3, leader's position power. This is the amount of power you have to direct the group and provide reward or punishment. The more power you have, the more favorable your situation. Fiedler identifies power as being either strong or weak. Now, how to use the Fiedler's contingency model? Step number 1, identify your leadership. Remember the LPC attribute chart? You use that to arrive at a cumulative score. Leaders scoring low, which is task-oriented on the LPC, are effective regardless of whether the factors are favorable or not. High LPC scores, which are relationship-oriented, are effective when factors are middle of the road. Furthermore, a score of 57 or below is considered a low LPC score, and the leader style is task-oriented. A score between 58 and 63 is considered a middle LPC score. This means the leader could have a task-oriented or a relationship-oriented tendencies. A score over 64 is considered a high LPC score, and the leader is relationship-oriented. Step number 2, identify your situation. Answer the questions: are leader-member relation good or poor? Is the task you're doing structured, or is it more unstructured? Or do you have little experience of solving similar problems? Do you have a strong or weak power over your team? Step number 3, determine the most effective leadership style. This chart shows a breakdown of all the factors we've covered: leader-member relationships, task structure, and leader's position power. The final column identifies the type of leader that Fiedler believed would be most effective in each situation. If you watched my videos for situational leadership, where I use an example when I worked at a pizza store during my university days and when I was promoted to a store manager. I was 23, leading a team of diverse people with an average age group of 32. Since I was younger, My coworkers did not like that I was their boss. Hence, there was a lot of distrust. So here, leader-member relationship was poor. The task at pizza store was very well structured. The size of the pizza, the sauce, the cheese, the toppings were all controlled by operating procedures. I cannot wait to divulge the details that this was due to revolutionary technique introduced by one of my mentors, Ray Kroc. I have another video about the rise of the arches. If you're pursuing a business school study or starting a new company, you have to watch that video that I put together about Sam Walton and Ray Kroc. I'll include that in the description. It does not take me long to deter from my attention. I don't know who's more curious, my pet cat Felix or I. Back to our topic. The pizza store had a structured task and my position power was high, as I was the manager of the store and was able to offer reward or punishment to the group. The most effective leader in this situation would be at the octant 8, which is the high LPC, and that is a leader who can focus on building relationship first. Back then, I did not have this knowledge, but I'm a very sociable person and built a great rapport with my coworkers. Hence, I was very successful at my job. Let's look at the correlation between the two charts. The selection of the octant provides you the information on what leadership style is preferred based on your parameters or the type of the situation. Now let's look at the advantages of this theory. The theory is extremely well researched. Given the statement parameters, for a thumb in the wind approach to identifying leaders, Fiedler's contingency theory can assist enormously. Leaders with good personal relationships are matched to a poorly structured task environment. For leaders who are impersonal, they are placed in well-task structured environment. Because this is a contingency theory, it's inherently more flexible than one takes it all theory. Now let's look at the drawbacks of this theory. The LPC scale is subjective, and characteristics are relative in context. Even according to Fiedler, the LPC score is valid only for groups that are closely supervised and does not apply to open ones such as teams. It is questionable whether Fiedler's contingency theory is valid in all situations, such as when neither the task is well defined and no choice of leader is to be had, except ones with bad personalities. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is by far the most amount of research I put into a topic, but I was extremely happy that I was able to put this information together in a form that could be easily understood. Thanks to Dr. Aaron for his help. Thank you for watching this video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, or share. This is Can Indian Channel signing off. Peace.
Companies have embraced the discipline of organizational behavior because the area of study can help them better understand employees in a work environment. Organizational behavior can be used to assess, manage, and predict behavior of employees so that companies can better understand how to motivate individuals. There are situational factors that can affect the study of organizational behavior and its prediction of the behavior of employees. The contingency theory explains that there are specific situational factors which can affect the direct relationships between independent and dependent variables in the study of organizational behavior. Independent variables, or X, are the cause of the change in the dependent variable, while dependent variables, Y, are a response affected by an independent variable. There is no one best way to structure a corporation and solve employee problems. It all depends on the situation. Cheapo Toys has been trying to perfect their organization by studying different variables that affect employees. Companies need to use trial and error to see what variables provide the results needed. Motivation and leadership are just two examples of many independent variables of the contingency theory, while productivity, turnover, and absenteeism are some examples of dependent variables. Let's take a look at a real corporate example of how the contingency theory is significant to organizational behavior. Dependent variables are affected by independent variables. Cheapo Toys wants to know what can affect worker productivity, turnover, absenteeism, and job satisfaction. The company would like to find ways to make workers increase their daily production rate of toys. Managers at the toy company also would like to decrease turnover or workers quitting or leaving for other positions. Lastly, many workers are constantly absent due to calling out sick.